For the ones that are in the market who are hesitant right now, that's where the total cost of ownership comes into play, right? For a real estate agent and a loan officer to say, hey, yes, the rates are 7%, but guess what? By being part of our relationship, we're going to continuously monitor those rates. And the moment the rates come down, we'll make sure that you get the best rates at any point of time. Secondly, we'll also give you tools to continuously save money in other places.
I'm Diego Sanchez, president of Housing Wire, and I'm thrilled to welcome Venkatesh Ganapathy, CEO of LiveEasy, to this sponsored 10-minute talk. Venkatesh, what inspired you to create LiveEasy, and how do you see it fitting into the broader landscape of housing market innovation?
Yes, we took a slightly different and longer approach to starting this. Started LiveEasy is actually Move Easy almost about 11 years ago, which was more of a moving concierge service. I was moving from Chicago to Columbus. It was a small move. It was the first time that I was moving, and I decided to pretty naively put my information on the internet. And, I was promised instant quotes. Never got that, except got bombarded with phone calls and emails. I remember getting phone calls like 6 months after my move. So thought that there has to be a better experience across the board. So started Move Easy as a platform to essentially help consumers with the entire moving process. Got into the real estate industry around 2017. And that was our first foray into the housing space in general. We work with real estate brokers, agents, white labeled our services for them, and essentially helped their clients settle in. So once the moment a transaction goes into contract, we would come in and set up everything from internet, cable, TV, home security, they're moving, all of those things. And that is where we kind of started to take off. 2020 was when we kind of truly started transitioning to the LiveEasy concept, which was more, the more we were talking to both our agent and broker clients, as well as the homeowners. But they were saying like, hey, it's great that you're helping us with the move, but then after the move, there's no way that the agent can really stay in touch with the consumers. And just sending them, either valuation of their homes or vendor notifications and other things is not enough to essentially pull them back. And so that's where we started expanding our platform to the larger kind of home management service of sorts, and then grew from there. So I think about a year and a half ago, we fully transitioned into LiveEasy and have now a full-blown home management platform that essentially takes care of that client from the time, regardless of where they come in as a homeowner, essentially taking care of them throughout the process, during their home journey, whether they're buying a new home, whether they're renting out, essentially anyone with a roof on their head, we're able to help them with their entire journey.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to tackle that retention issue, which is prominent on the real estate side and even more prominent on the mortgage side.
Yep.
Only 1 in 5 borrowers return to their original lender for the next loan. Do you also work with mortgage brokers and loan originators to help them stay in front of the homeowner?
Hugely. So the way we got into the mortgage industry was through real estate. A lot of our real estate brokers, they have their own in-house mortgage space. And so those guys would essentially come to us and say, hey, this is great that you're actually helping real estate agents, but we have a much bigger problem out here. It's a very transactional relationship, right? How do you kind of truly engage the user to come back? And so that's when we started essentially offering this for the mortgage companies as well. And you're absolutely right. I think the retention piece is a huge problem. And everyone is trying to do a portion of this, either give users data to come back into the platform or some kind of an incentive for them to essentially just either check their rates, Credit Karma-esque, check their home value and whatnot. We've been fortunate because of our larger integrations that we have in the home services space. We've essentially created a platform where we look at it from 3 different angles. So one is the home finances, kind of giving users the basic information about their home valuation, about, where can they save money, where should they be investing their equity in. And so those basic details, we do provide that. And that allows users to come back. But then what we also do is do annual savings reviews. Like our system automatically, if you've been in your home for more than a year, you're paying more for your home services. So we can essentially go back and reprice some of that to get savings for the homeowners on an ongoing basis. We are also able to pull in a lot of the home data from their home inspection report and all the other pieces of information coming from different places to then give this like home profile of sorts, and that can then become a basis for if I have to update something, if I have to repair something, how do I connect with vendors? All of that essentially becomes a single place. So there isn't a single reason for the homeowner to come back. We provide those multiple opportunities, and because we not only white label them, so depending on the customer, some of our clients want it just simply white labeled. Everything looks and feels like it's their brand, emails, the platform, everything. But then some others want it completely embedded in their system. Like they've already spent a lot of money building this consumer facing technology. The last thing that they want, and especially in the mortgage space, there's a lot of technology already there. The last thing that you want is essentially send the user to a third party website. So we are able to integrate with their site and make it entirely a very seamless experience.
Yeah, it makes so much sense. Do you partner with individual real estate agents and LOs on sort of a subscription model, or is most of your business more of an enterprise type relationship?
It's a combination. So most of our business is enterprise style. So a lot of the enterprises, depending on their size, we are able to essentially work out a deal that is a combination of both subscription as well as a transactional revenue opportunity for them. So at the end of the day, the overall price cancels out as like significantly less. If it comes to, we do work with individual loan officers and agents as well, and that is a subscription model there. But even there, it's the subscription in the larger scheme of things is pretty nominal. By the time you get like that one referral back, it more than pays for that subscription.
Absolutely. So you talked about migrating and expanding from helping people with their move to helping people with managing their overall home experience. Do you have aspirations to expand even more to, more aspects of the home ownership ecosystem in your partnership with real estate agents and mortgage originators?
Yes, I think a little going deeper into some of these features that we already have. So this year, for example, a big focus for us is like we started working with home inspection companies and are able to pull data from their systems. So we also have a platform that can recognize home appliances and identify the age and the life of the appliance and all those things. So what we are working on is some of these deeper projects are like, hey, how can we use that information to streamline the home warranty process? Or how can we make sure that when a user is essentially like they have the equity, that they are spending that equity in the right place, right? In some cases, it could be, hey, I need to buy a new rental property. But in other cases, it could quite simply be that if I'm able to essentially, update my installation, not only the home value does it go up, but my energy bills also come down. So how can we kind of go deeper into some of the features that are already there rather than overwhelming people with more and more features? We said like, hey, let's go deep. Let's use AI to be able to like truly give them exactly what they need when they need, and again make it more relevant that at the end of the day, if I'm working with this loan officer, if I'm working with this mortgage bank, then that is the company that I want to keep going back to because they're going to give me the best rates. They're going to give me the best system. They're going to save money in the larger scheme of things. So looking at the house as a total cost of ownership rather than that transactional relationship and trying to basically price match. I know that, hey, if I can work with this LO, overall, they're going to give me a much, much better value. And I'll continue to keep coming back to them.
So unfortunately, it seems like we are going to have higher rates for even longer. Yeah. How does LiveEasy help the real estate agent and the mortgage originator do more business in 2025, despite this difficult market?
I think it's a great question. I think there are two kinds of customers out here, right? One who've already locked in those old rates and are really hesitant to essentially move out, knowing that they're going to have to spend a more money, and then the other group is obviously they are getting into the market knowing very well that these are the rates, and hopefully over the course of time it actually reduces. Um, where our platform comes into play in terms of helping real estate agents and loan officers is one is truly tapping into their overall network. So both of them can essentially add their, like if it's their past clients, their sphere of influence, right? You can actually add that, because this is not asking the user to do something like to transact almost immediately. It becomes that operating system for your home, and so you can add pretty much anyone there. We are able to then notify the agent and the LO, say, hey, this person's actually been looking at these upgrades constantly, or they've been looking at these properties constantly, and it becomes an easy notification. Even something as simple as, hey, now's a good time for you to do a CMA, right? You haven't done that in a while. And or pulling that information from the consumer and say, hey, tell me what all upgrades have you done. And if they're able to say like, hey, we've done these upgrades, and sending a notification back to the agent and the loan officer to say, you know what, maybe this person is in the market, or this is a good time for you to do a CMA, and then see if we can reconnect. So that's one way of essentially connecting with people who've already been in the market and are not really ready to sell right now, to at least have that connection. For the ones that are in the market who are hesitant right now, that's where the total cost of ownership comes into play, right? For a real estate agent and a loan officer to say, hey, yes, the rates are 7%, but guess what? By being part of our relationship, we're going to continuously monitor those rates. And the moment the rates come down, we'll make sure that you get the best rates at any point of time. Secondly, we'll also give you tools to continuously save money in other places. So yes, you're paying $4,000 or $5,000 here, but we'll save you $1,000, $2,000 here, and keep that net cost lower. And that's how you would want to. That's why you would want to work with us, as opposed to someone who's just giving you a X amount of rate, and that's about it.
You're constantly adding value as the originator and the real estate agent, which is so important because if you think about what the servicers are doing, they are building a lot of tech so that when rates go down, they can be the first person to make that call about doing a refinancing. But you're empowering the originator to beat them to the punch on that, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it is, and even for services, it's a constant battle, right? I mean, the services are essentially going and reaching out, but the reality is, our email is now, hate to say this in a public forum, but it's public property. Like, it's everyone. You have that information out there during your home search process itself. You've essentially put out that information out there that a lot of people already know. So it's, even if the services are getting there in terms of saying like, hey, here's a better rate, at that time there are five other companies that are also emailing you. Why would you essentially choose the servicer or this originator over someone else? And I think that's where the relationship piece comes into play, right? If I have built that trust over time, and I know that, hey, yes, I don't have to price shop, because I know that this person is not only going to give me the best rates, but is also going to do a lot more for me to make my life as a homeowner easier. I would pay that premium, if any, to just work with them, knowing that my total cost of ownership is going to be lower with them rather than just jumping. And this could be a servicer who's using us or an originator who's using us. But at the end of the day, it's still going to be, as long as you're using that, a platform that truly gives that full 360-degree overview for the homeowner. We believe that that'll essentially help more in today's climate where rates are just so high.
Well, Venkatesh, this is a very interesting platform. What's the best way for an originator or an agent or a broker or a lending executive or a servicing executive, to your point earlier, what's the best way for them to get in touch with LiveEasy and learn more?
Yeah, I think the fastest and the easiest way is, our guy Zach. He's been in this space for a long time. He's actually been working with a lot of loan originators and mortgage companies. So it's either Zach at liveeasy.com, or if you're a real estate agent or a broker, then it's Travis at liveeasy.com. Both of them are amazing people in terms of like truly helping us get in front of a lot of these real estate brokers and LOs. Otherwise, just liveeasy.com. I mean, you can come here and you have just look for either if you're a mortgage agent, a loan officer, or a real estate agent, and then we'll be able to help you out.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on this special 10-minute talks. It's been great chatting with you.
Thanks a lot for this opportunity.